Welcome back, everyone. Since its premiere back in May, the Toronto production of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child has been dazzling sold-out audiences with heartfelt performances, jaw-dropping magic, and a dash of humor. Take a look.
Hogwarts will be the making of you, Albus, I promise. Now, if you don't want this train to leave without you, you should leap on.
Rose! Remember to send Neville our love.
Mom, I can't give a professor love.
Please welcome two of the stars playing Harry and Hermione, Trevor White and Sarah Afful. Welcome to the show. Congratulations, the show is incredible. I'm sending my parents to see it this weekend, loved it so much. It has globally sold over 4.5 million tickets. The Toronto production, of course, is selling out night after night. Trevor, what do you think it is about the show that has people lining up for it?
Well, for me, the story is what matters. The magic is the icing on the cake. If you don't care about the characters, if you don't care about the relationships in the show, then everything else doesn't go in the same way. And I think that's what first appealed to me about it when I read the play. It was the father-son relationship between myself and Albus. Mm-hmm. So there's obviously Harry. A lot of people, when I tell them I'm playing Harry Potter, they look at me and go like, You're way too old. But obviously it takes place 20 years in the future. We all now have kids at school. They go off on their own adventures and mishaps. And I have a very complicated relationship with my son in the play, which it rings very true to me. I have a 4-month-old. We've got a long way to go before those complications arise. And a 4-year-old daughter as well. But it was the family aspect of the show, those relationships that really resonated with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking about relationships, it's the relationship between this story, this world, and the fan base. I am one of those fans. I've had a long relationship with the Harry Potter world. And what I love about the fan base and being at the show, when I was at the show, there were fans from 80 to 8 years old, people from all backgrounds. Yeah. And that's just a reflection of what's on stage. That's a mirror.
Right.
What does that mean to you, Sarah? Was that important to you?
Yes. Yeah. When I was to audition for the show, I had no idea who I was auditioning for. I didn't know that Hermione was now a Black woman. So in the play version, she's a darker-skinned Black woman. And that made me believe that I could be Hermione. I had some characteristics that we shared, but knowing that they'd given license for me to be this character who in the book is a white girl, and now as an adult is a Black woman was very important. It's about representation. And, you know, I remember the other day there were 3 Black girls in the front row with afros, and it just gave me so much life.
So great.
And they're seeing themselves up on stage going, I'm this powerhouse, strong leader, who now Hermione is, the Minister for Magic. And now they believe that they can be that and see themselves in the books when they read them again, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so great.
Yeah.
As a side note, my son is 9. He has read most of the books too, and he had a moment of confusion at the beginning of the play. Yeah. But then he was just like, I told him about representation and diversity and how important this is, and he just immediately got it and was just like, great, let's move along. And that's the way those conversations.
They get it.
Kids get it.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the fan base for a moment as well.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like when you go there, again. Fans are dressing up. They're showing up. There are the wands. There are the capes. Yeah. So, you know, did you feel either of you any fear about stepping into these beloved characters?
Big one here.
Yeah, I suppose I hadn't actually read the books, or I'd seen bits of the movies before I got cast in the show, and I thought, well, I better do some reading. In a funny way, I kind of thought, well, I'll probably think they're all right, but you know, I'm a bit older now, and they're probably just for kids. I've read them all through twice. They're extraordinary books. The storytelling is incredible, and I tried not to see the movies. I didn't actually go see the show in London, where I've been living for 20 years before coming here, because I didn't want to have any other ideas about how to portray this character. And it's helpful that, of course, it's in the future. So you know, a lot of people will think of Daniel Radcliffe and various other people that have portrayed the characters in the movies, but you know, they were much younger, and it was a different representation. So it was less pressure in that way because you could make it your own.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I didn't watch the movies, I read the books, and then that's what I based it off of. And for me, the pressure was off because I'm kind of creating a new version of Hermione where she still has the intelligence, the logic, the humor, the bossiness, the annoying flavor, but I don't have to pretend to be someone that I'm not. So I didn't really have much nervousness going into playing this version.
So it's the characters, but it's also the visuals. The special effects for this production, if you haven't seen it, are wild. And normally we associate special effects with television and film. This is a stage production, but like the Dementors
They're terrifying.
It's terrifying and so real, and like so many other effects. So how do you manage like hitting your cues and like getting to what you need to do while there's all this magic happening around you?
Trevor does it brilliantly. He's got a lot of that.
Well, yeah, it's just a lot of spinning plates all the time. But, I mean,
Literally.
no one in this show, and there's a lot of us in this show, there's 35 people in the company, no one has been involved. Everyone assumes it's a musical because of the scale of the show, and I wouldn't be in it if it was a musical. That's the very simple answer on my part. But I mean, the scale of it, the illusions, the magic, every aspect of the show is so complicated. We were teching the show, which is all the lights and the sound and all the various physical stuff, from the second day of rehearsal. Normally, you don't do that until you get into the theater, but there's no way you can wait because it's as much of the show as the show itself. So you have to do that. You have to be on it from the first moment, basically. Otherwise, it all falls apart.
Well, everybody at home has to be on it and see this because it is so good. Thank you so much, Trevor and Sarah, for being with us today and chatting with you. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child has been extended into March of next year, so be sure to check it out if you are in Toronto.
Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.